Mike Sando went on the Ross Tucker podcast and had some comments about Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. Will this be a surprise to any Eagles fans? No, probably not. But every time one of these clowns opens their mouths about Jalen Hurts, besides giving Jalen Hurts bulletin board material and him up even more because I believe he's one of those type of athletes where this stuff he doesn't necessarily talk about it, but this stuff fuels him even more to get better, constantly improve, work on his game. But also one of the reasons I talk about multiple instances of this is because each time it leads me to something new that I've learned that just makes them look even dumber than I already seem to think that they are. So, if you're not familiar with who Mike Sando is, he does the whole QB tier thing. For some reason, I guess his list, and no, I have no idea why. In looking into him, it's his list that seems to garner some importance. But his list had Jalen Hurts. I actually didn't do a video on the tier list. I don't know why I didn't. I should have. It's great material. He had Jalen Hurts 17th on that list, folks. Yes, you heard me correctly. 17th on that list behind guys like Sam Darnold. Yes, I know Sam just won an MVP, a Super Bowl, but come on. Baker Mayfield, Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, Dak Prescott, who hasn't done anything in the playoffs. Justin Herbert, who hasn't done anything in the playoffs. Joe Burrow, who spent most of his career hurt, and on and on and on. And he had some things. Listen to this. I'm going to play this. This is only, I think, about a minute long. And then I want to give you some stuff that I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking you might not have heard yet. I wasn't sure it was this close, but it's absolutely eye opening as to what clowns people like Mike Sando are. So let's take a quick listen to this.
You probably could have had a better one on Hertz, but when you go through the Hertz, exactly where he's at in this thing, I mean, I don't think anyone above him is trading their quarterback for Hertz, and there's certainly no one in the league who's like, oh my gosh, we got to play Hertz this week. Necessarily, there's respect for what he's done in the Super Bowls, but also I think understanding that um, there's some limitations too.
Wow. You wouldn't trade any of those quarterbacks for Jalen Hurts. Really? None of them? I mean, none of the guys I just met, the whole lot of quarterbacks ahead of Jalen Hurts who haven't won a damn thing. Wow. But so first of all, let's get into this claiming no one is worried when they're playing Jalen Hurts. Really? Of course, he's talking about a lot of teams with quarterbacks he's put much higher than Jalen Hurts who have never beaten Jalen Hurts. So I'm thinking maybe those defensive coordinators might be a little worried about the two-time Super Bowl appearing, one-time Super Bowl champ and MVP, dual threat Jalen Hurts. Now, y'all might know this. I'm guessing if you're watching this video, we have a saying in Philadelphia recently because of all the Jalen Hurts nonsense. Everybody's better than Jalen Hurts until it's time to be better than Jalen Hurts. Let's. How about Matthew Stafford, who I think is 3 on this list right now? Versus the Rams, 4 wins, 0 losses, 8 total touchdowns, 1 interception, 100.9 QB rating. Oh, how about the Steelers? 2 wins, 0 losses, 575 passing yards, 7 total touchdowns, no interceptions, 133 passer rating. How about those Jags? Because my boys got Trevor Lawrence. By the way, the Eagles would never in a million years trade Jalen Hurts for Trevor Lawrence. 2 wins, 0 losses, 434 passing yards, 3 total touchdowns, 1 interception, and a 100.9 passer rating. And there's more. We'll get into that, but those 3 teams right there should probably be worried about Jalen Hurts. But there was, I think, in this ranking, Josh Allen is number 2, still behind Patrick Mahomes. There's another big one that moved Josh Allen ahead of Patrick Mahomes. We've done deep dives into the whole Patrick thing because we all know Jalen Hurts outplayed him twice twice in Super Bowls, split with him 1-1, one Super Bowl MVP. We know Patrick had a down year in 2025. No one wants to talk about that. They want to talk about Jalen Hurts having a down year, but they don't want to talk about Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts clearly outplayed Patrick in 2025. So I want to look at that number two guy, the anointed, the guy who doesn't seem to be able to make it in the playoffs, Josh Allen. QB rating for their careers. Now, Allen has played two more seasons. He's played 8. Jalen has played 6. So I got a couple of those numbers for their first 6 seasons. But through their career, just some of the big numbers, right? We all know not one single number is the be all end all. Hey, how about that QB rating though, right? Josh Allen, 94.4. Man, well, Jalen Hurts, I mean, he can't play under center. He can't read defenses. He can't throw over the middle. So this is going to be like a big gap, at least on this stat. Jalen's got that tush push for touchdowns, but QB rating 94.4. Wait, that's what I said for Josh Allen, though, isn't it? 94.4. But Josh Allen's number 2 on the list, so that obviously there's a mistake there. Yards per attempt over their careers, pushing it downfield, getting chunks, not just checking it down to the running back or, throwing a 1-yard release to the tight end, but actually moving the ball down the field via the passing game. That's going to be a big split because Josh Allen, man, he can just fling that thing all over the field. Josh Allen's yards per attempt for his career, 7.4. Jalen Hurts, I hope it's at least 7 or this is going to get embarrassing. 7, 7.5. Wait, so Jalen Hurts is higher. He's averaging more yards per attempt than Josh Allen over their careers. Interesting. Oh, in his 6 seasons, Jalen has hit 8.0 yards per attempt twice. Josh Allen in his 8 seasons just hit 8.0 for the first time in his career in 2025. Now, TDs to interceptions. Now, these numbers that I'm giving you right here, they are averaging out over a 17-game season to give it. TDs, interceptions. Josh Allen averaging 29 TDs passes and 12 interceptions over a full 17-game season through his career. Jalen Hurts 20 and 8. So yeah, it's kind of a wash. Jalen's, I think, interception percentage is slightly lower than Josh's. Josh's TD percentage slightly higher, but rushing TDs, Josh averages 10 per season. Jalen averages 12. So we're looking at what? It's kind of a wash in that category. Am I right? Oh, and Josh Allen, the raw number of yards, his is a little higher because he throws the ball 6.2 times, not actually a ton. When we keep hearing how the Eagles rely so much on the running game, Josh Allen throws the ball 6.2 times more per game than Jalen Hurts. But yards per attempt is less, more interceptions and more touchdowns. Like I said, kind of a wash. So QB ratings the same. I mean, I don't get it. So it sounds to me like, and again, Josh Allen's number 2 on the list, which is why we already know the Patrick Mahomes comparisons, which is why I wanted to talk about this. So I'm thinking maybe defensive coordinators, yeah, they might be discussing options on ways they can handle a dual threat quarterback who can run and throw the ball down the field. To say that no one in the league is worried about Jalen Hurts when they're coming up to play him is just, it's stupid. Let me just be completely blunt about it. It is stupid. I do not understand the hatred for Jalen Hurts. The man has won a Super Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl MVP. He's been there twice in 6 seasons. The NFL's got some serious problems with a lot of off the field issues. Jalen Hurts does everything right. Everything right. And he's constantly getting dissed and dismissed as a quarterback despite all of his accomplishments. What are we talking about with guys like Mike Sando, who, by the way, why does it? And I know people say, well, then why'd you do the video when I say, why does his opinion matter? But that's kind of why I'm doing the video. Why do these people have the position they have? His opinion probably, I'll say, is no more or less valid. It was probably actually less valid than most diehard Eagles fans who probably know a lot more about the game than Mike Sando does. But man, they want to give him this shroud of expertise for whatever reason that does not even really exist. What does this man know about the quarterback position that makes his rankings valid? When you look through what I just walked you through with Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts, and yet Josh Allen is number 2 and Jalen Hurts is number 17. Think about that for a second. Think about how ridiculous that is, right? And then I did want to get one thing. I had it here some hold on. Where is it? Where is it? I've got it here somewhere. Yeah, oh, just also versus some of the other guys, right? I mentioned Matthew Stafford 4-0, 2-0 against Josh Allen. This is since 2023. 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes, 1-0 against Burrow, 1-0 against Lamar Jackson, and and on and on. That's how that goes, my friends. And then, oh yeah, just a couple of these numbers for Josh and Jalen just through their first 6 seasons. Hurts, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and of course a Super Bowl win and MVP. Josh 0. The QB rating, Jalen's numbers doesn't change, obviously 94.4. Josh is at 92.2. He's elevated it the past 2 seasons. Rushing touchdowns, Jalen 63, Josh 53. Jalen's QB percentage of 64.4%, higher than Josh's of 63.2%. I'm guessing, it's not on here for that, but I'm guessing that Jalen's yards per attempt is better too, even more so because this past year it was down, right? This Kevin Patullo season had it all the way down to like 7.1 or something. I'm just double checking. That's why let me see. Yeah, it was only 7.1 this season, right? And Josh had a career high of 8 this season, right? So that gap for the first 6 seasons is even bigger. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there, man. Just some more wild stuff when it comes to Jalen Hurts. Do me a quick favor if you're enjoying the content, like, comment, subscribe. Truly do appreciate it, man. Go Birds. I'll talk to y'all later.